Tell us your name.
Bettie Jean Dawkins.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 86.
Okay. And tell us your birthday.
This June the 11th, 1935. Well, back in them days, it was still segregated, you know.
Okay.
So in the South, it was quite different.
Okay.
And I didn't live in the North
Okay.
except for 3 or 4 years,
Okay.
going to school up there.
Okay.
And
I didn't know that.
it was quite different. In the South, we still didn't have running water and all that good stuff. But in the North, everything was handy and everything was running and everything was okay.
Wow.
And I lived with my aunt in Asheville
Okay.
for 3 years, going to school, going to high school.
Okay.
Her name was Bessie Sims.
Okay.
And she took good care of me and provided all my needs.
Okay. So in Asheville, you say that's where everything was handy.
Yeah.
Okay. In comparison to what other place? What was the South, more southern place?
Well, in South, we lived in Newberry, South Carolina.
Okay.
And we still didn't have running water. We still had the outside toilet and all that good stuff.
Okay.
And when I graduated from the 8th grade, it wasn't no high school. The high school was way up in Newberry, South Carolina.
Okay.
And we didn't have transportation up there. So that's why I went to North Carolina to go to high school.
Oh.
And when I finished the 11th grade up there in Asheville, they had built the new school in Newberry, South Carolina.
Okay.
The name was Gallman High School.
Okay.
Let's see, Gallman High School. So I came back in the 12th grade, and then I finished the 12th grade there and graduated.
Okay.
Everybody was segregated then.
Okay.
The schools wasn't mixed at all.
Okay.
The black was still going to the black schools, and whites went to their school.
Okay.
And plus, the whites was being bused at that particular time.
Okay.
But the black people they wasn't busing the black people.
Okay.
You had to get to school the best way you could. And back in them days, it was walking.
Okay. So you would say that you only pretty much associated with all black people.
That's right. It wasn't segregated. It wasn't desegregated then.
Okay.
I really didn't live in Michigan.
Okay.
That's where Mom lived.
Okay.
But I just visited her there after I got grown.
Okay.
When I was little, I stayed with my aunt back here in South Carolina.
Okay. So when you went to, so you were grown at that point. So you didn't visit her while you were going to school.
No.
Okay. Okay. So how would you say going from Asheville to Newberry, did that have an impact on your life?
Not really. I was pretty flexible.
Okay.
I was okay when I was in Asheville, and when I was home with Aunt Lucille and them, I was okay because that was my home with her.
So Aunt Lucille was in Newberry.
Yeah,
And then you lived with the aunt in Asheville? What was her name?
Aunt Bessie.
Aunt Bessie. Okay. And whose sisters are these people? Who I know that they're young aunt, but who were their siblings? Who were their siblings?
Who was Mama's, Aunt Lucille's and siblings?
Yes.
Well, they had sisters and brothers.
So Aunt Lucille was your mom's sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about Aunt Betsy?
She was the sister too.
To your mom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So one of the questions here was, did you ever go to school in Michigan?
No,
Okay.
I didn't go to school up there.
Okay. All right. So another question is, did you attend a one-room school?
I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if so, which you said you did, what was that like, attending a one-room school?
Well, that was when I was smaller.
Okay.
The schools was one room.
Uh-huh.
And then later on, they got to 2 or 3 rooms.
Okay.
But it was one teacher. And then when we got to the bigger school, it was 2 or 3 teachers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in the one-room school, how many grades were in that one room?
First, second, and third.
Okay. And then when you got to the bigger schools, how many, was it an actual school or?
It was, back in them times, it was a school.
Okay.
We called it the Rosenwald School.
Mm-hmm.
And it had 4 or 5 different rooms and 2 teachers.
Okay.
And you went from different room to room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it one grade or multiple, or more than one grade doing that?
It was more than one grade. Third, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Okay. So I guess, so did some 5th and 8th graders have class together, or was it broke up?
They was broke up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you experience any racism as a child?
Well, when I was growing up, everybody was segregated.
Okay.
Wasn't no mixing.
Okay.
Well, I didn't call it segregation. It was just a way of life.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
But it was segregation, though. Back in the day, everything was segregated.
Uh-huh.
That was the way of life.
Right.
That's what you know, everybody was segregated there.
Right.
But then when we got desegregated, it was different.
Uh-huh.
It was a little gradually along.
Uh-huh.
It didn't mix all of a serve.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you prefer segregation over desegregation?
Well, desegregation is better.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In what ways?
Well, one thing, you had better schools,
Okay.
bigger schools,
Mm-hmm.
and everything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, better opportunity, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No?
When I was growing up, I didn't see any. I just heard the older people talking about it.
Okay. Well, what would they say?
Well, you couldn't mix then.
Mm-hmm.
You had to still be secretive about it.
Okay.
But still, a few black people and white people still mixed. But they had to be very careful about it when it first started.
Okay. Okay. Were there any stories about any, like, I guess, violent activity?
No, it wasn't no violence or nothing.
Okay. Okay. I think we touched on that. One of the questions is, what did segregation look like as a child where you lived? And I feel like you've touched on that.
Okay.
What that looked like? Is there any other things you could think about?
Well, everybody was segregated. Everybody kept primary to the south in the different classes.
Okay. What about in the area that you lived in?
Well, in the area, everybody was segregated still. There wasn't no mixing yet with the black and white.
Okay.
I was very upset because he was one of the leaders of the black at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very upset. I remember it very well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. My first trip on the plane was to see Mom.
Okay, so you went to Detroit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was after I was married.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how was that experience? That's a question.
It was okay. I wasn't scared or nothing. I was okay with it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a straight flight, or did you have to lay over and wait?
I didn't have to change.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who came and got you from the airport?
Who did what?
Who got you from the airport? Who picked you up from the airport
After I got,
to Detroit?
my sisters picked me up,
Okay.
Dot and Shirley.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Were they all still living? Everybody was grown at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you stay with your mom?
Yeah, I stayed with Mama.
Okay. How long did you stay up there at that time?
Almost 2 weeks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You were just visiting?
I was just visiting.
Okay.
Well, there was lots of good memories about him.
Uh-huh.
We kept him for years.
Mm-hmm.
And the children growed up with him. Mm-hmm. And they was very fond of him.
Okay.
And I was too.
Okay.
He was very easy to get along with and everything.
Okay.
He was a good man.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite child?
No. I can't pick among them.
Okay.
They all the same to me. I can't think about it because it never was here.
Okay.
I can't imagine where it was a girl or boy. They didn't tell them.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Okay.
That was it back in the South at home. He was in and at the house a good bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but where did y'all meet each other?
Each other?
How did y'all learn of each other?
Oh, okay. He was coming in and out the house.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, he knew y'all's family?
Yeah.
Okay.
He knew Boys's family. Well, to get married, you have to want to.
Yeah.
It kind of grows on you.
That's true. That is true. How often do you think about Granddad now?
Quite often. I still think about him as yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I still miss him.
Mm-hmm.
I still think about him a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize I was looking young. Well, I just take care of myself and live life normal.
Mm-hmm.
I try to be a good Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I love everybody. I don't hate nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I like to go to church.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I still miss my home church,
Yeah.
Fellowship Baptist at home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So did y'all all grow? So when I say y'all, I mean like the three little ones that you grew up with. Did y'all all come up in church that church together?
We did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember starting there, or do you just remember always being there? Do you remember going there for a first time, or?
I can remember going there with Granddad. I don't know if it was the first time,
Okay.
but we used to walk to Sunday school.
Mm-hmm.
We lived a long ways from it, but I remember Lucille used to get me ready, and I used to walk with Granddad to Sunday school, to fellowship.
So you lived with your other cousins?
We all lived together,
Okay.
the cousins.
Were their parents living in the house too, or did Granddad watch? Was Granddad the parent?
Well, back in the day, they all lived in the house.
Okay.
It was several siblings of them.
Okay.
Okay. When I was little, Lucille lived in the home, Idella, Susie, brother, and me, my cousins, and Granddaddy. It was about 8 or 9 of us there at one time. Mm-hmm. We was a big family.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was the house big?
It was pretty big.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was it one level?
One level.
Okay. How many rooms do you remember?
It was several. I can't remember now, way back in the day.
Okay.
It was pretty big for all of us.
Was it like a log house? Or
It was a wooden house with planks.
okay.
It wasn't log. It was made out of planks. Not really. I don't think I'm that good. But it's good to be a good Christian and try to get along with people and love everybody.
Okay.
You can't hate nobody.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So being a good Christian for you, what's that look like?
Well, I went to church. At first, I wasn't a Christian. I didn't get born again until after Ivy was born.
Oh.
I was about 22 when I was baptized, before I got saved. And I've been working in the church ever since.
Okay.
And of course, we went to church before we got saved,
Right.
when we was at home.
Right.
But to be a good Christian, you have to work in the church and try to keep in contact with the church if you can.
Okay.
And it's good to have a minister. Yeah. And you should attend church if you can and grow up to be a good Christian and learn to love our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's part of it. And then you have to love everybody else.
Okay. So, was it easy for you to love everybody else?
Well, I didn't come up hating nobody else. I was always kind of normal with that. I didn't have no enemies. I don't consider myself to have none.
Okay.
I never did.
Okay.
Well, when I was young, I was okay with that. Because we growed up, we was pretty normal. Back in the day, everybody was farming. And that was what you know. Everybody raised what they ate, didn't go to town that regular.
Okay.
Every once in a while, they went to pick up supply.
Okay.
And now, where you go every day, you go out and pick up every day.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you didn't do that.
Okay.
You live from day to day, from week to week. And people granddaddy grow most of everything we ate.
Okay.
Except the basic things, like grits and stuff. He didn't grow them.
So, in growing your own foods, did you guys like fertilize your ground? Was there?
We did. We fertilized the farm. We fertilized the corn, the cotton. We had string, we had beans. We had a big garden. Had potatoes, peanuts, corn, and all that good stuff. We growed it.
Okay.
And we ate it as a child. So it's normal for me now.
Yeah.
I still love peanuts. We had peanuts back in the day. And we growed them.
Okay. So, did you guys put anything on the ground to like keep bugs off the plants?
Like what?
Did you guys put things on the ground to keep bugs from eating the foods?
You know, the only thing I know about, they didn't do that too much. The bugs wasn't that bad back in the day that I can remember.
Okay. Okay. Can you explain the other side of the track, what that means, or if that has a meaning?
The other side of the track? I'm not sure I'm understanding.
Okay. Is there a meaning to house devil and street angel? Is there a meaning to that?
House angels and street angels?
House devil and street angel.
No, that didn't come along till later.
Okay. Does that have any meaning?
No, I guess that's starting the violence, I guess. Well, back in the day, And Lucille had certain superstitions.
Uh-huh.
I still believe in them.
Okay. Okay.
You didn't wash on Good Friday and Christmas Eve,
Okay.
all that good stuff.
Where did you get those from? Like, where did she get those from?
I don't know. Evidently from her parents. No, my memories are pretty good.
Okay.
You know, when we growed up little, Robert, Edna, and myself and Joe Louis, we had a good childhood. We played together. We ate everything. You wasn't choice it in. You couldn't be.
Okay.
You had to eat what you had. And we ate everything. We roamed the bushes for plums and plums, whatever growed in the bushes. We ate it back in the day. It's the one that didn't kill us because we didn't know how to pick between the good and the bad. We just ate everything.
Wow.
Locusts and all that good stuff. Well, I don't know if I have a special thing, but I was always proud of my family. And me and my husband, we was good together. So I was proud of him. He took good care of us. If I could change anything?
Would you, or if you could do something over? Okay.
I'm okay with the way I came.
Okay.
I don't know that I got any best advice or wisdom, but Aunt Lucille was she taught me all her wisdom and her knowledge.
Okay.
She was very knowledgeable.
Okay.
In the old ways and everything.
And Aunt Lucille, she had children?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was her child?
She had 4 children.
Okay.
Minnie, Joseph, Margaret, and Nola.
And did they grow up with you?
At one point, they did.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember any one thing or some things that she would instill in you?
Well, I guess she taught me most of what I know because she always had me and kept me with her from a little girl on up until I got grown.
Okay.
So she instilled her ways of life and with me.
Okay.
I was in my 20s.
Yeah. Is there a reason for that? Is there a reason why you waited in your 20s?
I don't know that there's a reason. I guess everybody reaches a point in their lives and decide whether they want to be saved or unsaved. I guess I had reached that point.
Okay. So were you already a mother at that point?
Yeah. Ivy was my first child when I got saved. It is.
Okay. And can you talk about your relationship with God?
Well, I love God. I trust him. I put him first in my life. And I always will serve him. He's the one. He takes good care of me. I can trust him. I can lean and depend on him. I trust him all the time. I know you don't think I'm much of a Christian, but I trust God. I believe in him. I pray daily, and I'm very religious. Because Granddaddy was a religious man. He prayed in the family every Sunday morning before he went to church. So I've been in the religious family all my life.
And do you think that's how did you know his dad?
No, I didn't know Granddaddy's dad.
Okay. Do you think that was instilled in him?
Well, back in the day, most people was Christians. That was a way of life.
Okay. Did he ever talk about his dad?
No.
Okay. What about his mom?
No.
Okay. So that part of the family,
I don't know about.
okay.
I don't know about Granddaddy's people and grandmama's people. That was before my time.
Okay. So, I guess you would say that was a good thing that he prayed like that.
Yeah, and why?
Because he was showing you, I get, how important it was to him and for
Not
y'all.
only me, but the whole family.
Do you remember hearing history, like by people talking about history of your people being Indians or natives?
No,
No?
I can't remember nothing like that.
Okay. So, and we kind of talked about this before, but did you hear about anybody in the family talking about people in our family coming over on slave ships?
No,
Okay. So, do you have any ties to, have you heard of the term Gullah or Geechee?
just vaguely.
Okay, in South Carolina, people hear about people from South Carolina being Geechee or Gullah.
That's just a way of life, phrase, I think, mostly.
Okay, so you don't have any ties or any whereabouts of that?
No.
Okay. Is there an Indian tribe that you were told that you were a part of?
I'm not part of the Indians that I know about.
That you know about? Okay.
I like to add one or two other things. Back in the day when I grew up and was at home with all the siblings, we lived in the farmhouse.
Okay.
We farmed. We raised everything. We had chickens, ducks, geese, and turkeys, and we had all that stuff. In the evening, they fed the chickens, corn, and stuff like that. And we ate everything. We had roasted ears, peanuts, sweet potato, all that good stuff. We had it. We never was hungry, and without food that I can remember.
Okay.
Because back in the day, they raised these things you call peas,
Okay.
and they harvest them for winter, and they cooked them in the wintertime,
Okay.
even over the fire. They had a black pot they used.
Okay.
So I'm very well with the old way. I'm okay with the new way, but I ain't forgot the old way.
Okay.
Because I know we was poor, but everybody was poor back in the day. Nobody wasn't rich that we know about. Everybody had basically the same thing. Everybody was working the field, trying to make it from day to day. And then you didn't have no income until you gathered the cotton and sold it at the end of the year.
Okay.
And that's when you got your income.
So everybody lived off I'm gonna say a paycheck. They got paid once a year and stretched that out.
The farm. And then they lived off of what they farmed through the year.
Okay. So you said they cooked on the fire. So was that inside the house? They had a fire, or was there a stove?
It was a fireplace and a stove. They cooked on the stove. They used wood then.
Okay.
But the fireplace was open and it rolled with fire all the time. We never was cold. The houses they wasn't nothing like houses now.
Okay.
They was mostly bold in planks.
Okay.
But the big fire kept us warm. And then don't forget the cracks in the floor. They spread it and all that good stuff. I've been here a long time, and I remember a whole lot. I remember the good days, the bad days. And back in them times with Granddaddy, it really wasn't no bad days. Because he was a good provider too. He was a good farmer. And he had a big farm.
Okay.
And we all worked it.
Okay. So the farm that he worked on, was that his land or?
No. It must have been the white man's land, but Granddaddy didn't own land.
Oh.
He wasn't fortunate enough to own land.
Okay. So they let you all stay on that property?
I guess, I don't know how I really don't know how they did that back in the day. I don't know how Granddad arranged that,
Okay.
but I guess it must have been through the crops. I'm not sure.
Okay. And I know you said that it didn't get cold in the house.
It was an open house, but the big fireplace, we kept warm.
Okay.
But you had to have a lot of clothes on in the day.
Okay.
We never was cold in the house,
Okay.
but it was a big open fireplace.
Okay. Did you guys get hot in the summertime?
Yes, it was very hot.
It got hot in there.
Mm-hmm.
Was there was there windows, or was it just a door?
Open windows, shutters. Wasn't no glass windows like now. Just wood windows. You throw them open in the summertime. Everything came in and bit you. Well, I'm okay with it. And I come to realize this is going to be my home.
Yeah.
Since we sold our home back in the last year. When we sold the house, it was a loss to me. Been in it 50-some years.
Yeah.
But then I was glad to sell it because it was very expensive for me to keep up.
Okay.
In Asheville, it's okay. Everybody's busy working. And I'll come to adjust to my life with Ira and Dave.
Yeah.
They were very good to me, and they take good care of me. And I'm happy here.
Okay. I wondered about the house and how you felt about it, and it's good to hear that. It's good to hear your feelings on it, that you felt like it was a loss, because I know
It was a home.
Yeah, I think
Good home.
I think we all felt that way, but I know it sits different with you because you raised your family there.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
It was a big loss.
it was. It was. Yeah, it was. So one of the questions is, and how do you feel? I know I heard one of the last times with Granddad, the great grandkids was around, and I heard him in the background saying, "Bless you, bless you." He just felt so.
Well, he was very blessed about the great grands and the grands. He was very happy over it. It's great. It's so different from me when I grew up. Everything is so right there for you. And when I come up, wasn't nothing for you. You had to reach out and get everything. But now the grandchildren have a good life. Children have a good life. So it's very good.
You think it's good? You think it's good how everything is right there for them?
Yes, because they couldn't survive back in the old days.
Oh, I don't know if that's I mean, that's true. That's true.
It was a way of life back then.
Okay. When Granddad was marveling over all the kids and all the great grandkids, it was at that deacon ceremony in 2016. I guess they had that. Was it the
They did the speeches and stuff.
Yeah, they were like honoring him. Yeah, it was when they were honoring him that time at church. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of.
It was at his church, Sequoia Baptist.
Yes.
And I went. It was a big turnout for him. And they did a good job for him.
Okay.
They served food and they had a program and everything.
Okay.
In memories of your dad. You know, he was in the church over 50-some years too. And he was a deacon 35 years.
Wow. Wow.
And he was a good church worker. He believed in God too.
Yeah. And you were how long were you with your church?
I've been in Fellowship Baptist 50-some years.
Okay.
I still miss it.
I bet. What did you belong in the church?
Well, I belonged to the senior choir, and at first I sung on the junior choir. I was a member of the usher board, not the usher board, the mother board, and I was over the food committee.
Okay.
And I was kind of active in the church.
Yeah, I would say so.
It was a goal with me.
Okay.
I wanted them to do better than I did. I wanted them to have more education than I had. I wanted them to go further.
Okay. Okay. Would you say you're pleased with them and what they?
I'm pretty pleased. They did okay. They did pretty good. I can't complain. When I was young, I didn't have no idea about this day.
Okay.
Everything coming to me just like it came to the children now.
Okay.
I growed up learning about all these different things. Older I got, the more things we got.
Okay.
And that's how I come to learn about them.
Okay.
And I'm okay with them, but I don't let them go to my head.
Okay.
I can do the old way too.
Okay. So would you say, does any technology surprise you? Like, is there any new thing that comes along and you're like, whoa, or?
Well, when the new things come along, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
It's just people are more brighter and smarter now. And back in the day, we didn't have the opportunity to be smart. We just had that one school system. But now everybody's into the big system.
Yeah.
Everybody can go to the different schools, mostly. Everything is segregated, desegregated. So people now have a good opportunity, and children have a good opportunity. Back in my day, there wasn't no opportunity.
Okay.
Well, when I was in home church, we had lots of hymns and good hymns and songs. Up here, I can't.
Yeah.
It's so different. The churches are so different. The services is different. And everything's, the Baptist is kind of like on the same. But it's not like at home. And I done forgot all my songs at home. I think about them now. I used to could sing them.
Yeah.
Now they done left me.
Oh, you got
And I had a songbook. I should have brought it with me,
Yeah.
but I didn't. But it's good to be in the church.
Was the songbook at the house?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had a songbook
Okay.
for the choir.
Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe there's a way we could get a songbook from fellowship.
No, I ain't gonna bother fellowship about that.
Okay.
About their books.
Okay.
Things now is better than they were for us. Things now is good. And everything is here for the people. Back in our day, everybody was doing the same thing, but they was trying to be good at what they did. Good farmers, good growers for the family. But nowadays, everything is here, and everything is shipped in for us. Everything is grown and shipped in for us. And if it wasn't for the farmers, we couldn't make it now. Because they're shipping everything we eat. And when we eat all this stuff, we don't realize where it come from. But farmers are still hard work, but they got more equipment and stuff now than did now. And it ain't nothing but big farmers. But back in the day, everybody was farming. You know, it's good to be here because most all my siblings that I came up with have passed on. And most of my family has gone on. I just have one brother left now. And lots of cousins and my children. But it's good to be in the number.
Yeah.
As long as I have been. And I'm still going to serve God and keep my hands in His hands.